Opponents of assisted death fear that the slippery slope phenomenon is the expected consequence of normalizing a physician's direct or indirect killing of a patient. The argument points out that every foreign jurisdiction that has legalized assisted death has eventually expanded that right beyond the initial legalization. They point out that whenever a line is drawn to limit eligibility criteria, there are those outside the line that protest, and that protesting creates the expansion of the eligibility criteria and thus the accessibility of assisted death. Supporters of assisted death respond by arguing that the slippery slope concept is a fallacy and won't occur. A study does point out that there was no evidence of a heightened risk of death by physician assistants in the elderly, women, uninsured people, the poor, racial, and ethnic minorities, etc. In reality, they find that those who use assisted death are more likely to be members of groups with higher social, economic, educational, and professional status. That being said, this was a relatively limited study with a variety of differences in methodologies, but some state that this is a good first pass look at the slippery slope argument. As you may have seen in other reels of mine though, we see evidence contrary to the study. An investigation into Canada's assisted death program found that unmet social needs was listed as reasons why people pursued and were granted assisted death. Are these one-off outliers, or are these examples of the slippery slope concept? At the end of the day, whether you choose to support or oppose assisted death, there will always be outliers who don't benefit from the decision. So how do we figure out what's best for the majority, and how do we become okay with letting some people stay outliers?